Why, hello. Hello, you two. Alright, we have an unboxing of something that I have been on the hunt for the greater part of 2 or 3 years. So, let's not delay this and just get right to it, shall we? It's funny, they put tape on it even though there's very strong adhesive holding the box together. Come on. There is also a reason that I'm recording in 4x3, which you'll see in a second. Here we have this DC cable. This is for my Panasonic MiniDV camcorder. Mine broke years ago, and I've been looking for one of these for a long time. I'm looking on eBay for used power supplies, so that I could just snag the cord off of them and things like that. But I finally managed to find one not too long ago, like earlier this week. And as you can see, it goes from a DC jack to like a battery placeholder. I saw a video that V Westlife did recently of a Panasonic camcorder that used a DC jack to a DC jack instead of a DC jack to a battery adapter, which I think is a better design. This design I don't like that much because this cord was pretty hard to find. There were only three of these on the internet that I could find, and I bought one of them. And the place I got it from was newremotecontrol.com. Look on there and you'll find some good stuff. I got it for $25.59. That's a lot for just a cable, but I can't get it anywhere else. You just have to pay for it that way. So there's also a reason I'm recording this in 4x3. That's because the other camera that takes this does not record in widescreen. So without further ado, let's switch to that other camera and give this DC cord a try. First I'll show you the whole process of setting it up. This is of course the Panasonic camcorder that this goes to. I bought this new with money that I got from selling a G4 Cube back in 2003. I got this for around $800 or $900 new with that money. It is a Panasonic model PV-GS50D. It's a very tiny camera. The thing that holds a lens cap off actually broke off when a relative of mine actually knocked this camera over. So it no longer stays on by itself, but there are threads here, so I think I can get a new attachment for that somewhere. I'll have to look. I don't know exactly size this lens is, so I'll figure that out, I guess. It has mics on the front, which is why I liked this camera a lot. I used it back when I used to run a YouTube channel called Analog Revival. It was basically a music channel for vinyl, and I don't do that anymore, not since YouTube started doing the copyright stuff. I've just stopped doing that because it's a waste of my time if they're just going to block that. But this camera, it's a pretty typical MiniDV camcorder of the time. On the front it has an AV input and output jack. I used to actually use this to transfer VHS. It also has a compartment down here for FireWire and a bunch of other stuff. It has S-video in and out, USB, and FireWire 400 right there. Very nice camera, and it's a swivel out LCD like most do, and it doesn't have a touch screen. It has buttons. You can put an SD card in here to take pictures or take really low quality MP4 video. But there you have it. It also has I love this camera, absolutely love it. The only two things that I have a problem with it are its low light sensitivity is not that great, and its widescreen is fake. It's cinema, which just letterboxes a 4x3 picture. So it's not exactly the most practical thing in the world. Other than that, it's a great camcorder, and I've missed using it because it still has a good battery, which is one of these batteries here. It's just a lithium-ion battery. And this is the charger it uses. Get on there, you. It uses one of these chargers, which is a Panasonic PV DAC13. And this. I ended up having to look up this thing, and I finally found that newremotecontrol.com link that has had that little DC cable. A brand new power supply with everything cost about $70-something, and I didn't want to spend that at the time. So I think it's about time we try out this camera. Let's give it a shot. Okay, so we got the DC cord here. If I turn this camera so I can see myself. Stick it in the back here. Yep, let's see if the best test is to open the tape tray. And there you have it. That definitely indeed works. Oop. Oh. I forget how this camera works. I haven't used it so long. Push the thing that says push. You dummy. This thing is a little dumb sometimes. There, it actually registered that time. The loading mechanism in this thing sounds a hell of a lot healthier than the one in my Sony over there. I'll tell you that. So let's see if it works. It should work. Yep, it's working. Unfortunately, this camera doesn't do Super Mario camcorder, but it works. Okay, now we're recording with the Panasonic model PV-GS50D. Here's just a pan around the room just to see how it looks. We'll look at the ceiling fan for a second there. That's the door here. There's the doorknob. And of course things on the floor. This camera doesn't have this camera always looked a little odd to me. I don't think its color is exactly where it could be or where it should be, but I'm really not sure because I haven't done many tests with different camcorders before. There's the Ionic Breeze right there. Zoom in on the filter handle. Oh god, digital zoom. Get it away. Here's a darker portion of the room. There's my fan, TV, and the game consoles, and there's the studio computer. It's having a little trouble focusing on the darker areas right there. Here's the Sony MiniDV camcorder that I used to record the first portion of this video. Well, it looks like this thing is working fantastically. It's a DC cord, so it should just plug in and work, but there you have it. I'm not sure if this thing has image stabilization or not. I don't know. I'd have to play around with it because I can't remember where the setting is. So CRTs are a little flickery. Same thing with the eMac over here. A little flickery. Wonder if it'll pick up on the sound of my phone and tell me there's an email. There's a receiver with its glowing light there. It's actually not that bad in this portion. There's the router. Not bad at all. The only thing I really wish this camera had was a little bit better low light sensitivity and some form of widescreen, like anamorphic or true widescreen. The Sony camcorder over here has anamorphic widescreen, I believe. But I can work with anamorphic. It's not a big deal. I've dealt with it for years. I can deal with it longer than that, but, you know. Let me guys show you the fake sorry excuse for widescreen this thing has. It's called cinema mode. Yes. Apparently in the cinema, they take a 4:3 image and letterbox it. Yeah, right. I suppose it makes it look a little bit more like a different aspect ratio, but it's fake. It's as fake as press on nails, man. It's crap. I hate this. I'm going to stop this before it continues any further. This is atrocious too. Aspect ratios everywhere. I also found the image stabilization. It uses electronic image stabilization rather than optical, so it's not the best image stabilization in the world, as you probably saw when I zoomed into the Ionic Breeze over there. This is me zooming in with image stabilization off to the handle of the Ionic Breeze over there. Now that I've turned that off, let's look at a CRT. That's a lot better, actually. It's still a little flickery, but it's a lot better. Yeah, it's a little better. The electronic image stabilization on this thing I don't find to be the most functional in the world, but it does work to some extent. So let's turn it back on. And there, we turned it back on, and it does seem a little bit smoother to me. Let's try zooming into here again. Yeah, it's a little smoother, but not by much. Optical's way better than this. This camcorder's a little bit cheap as far as its feature set goes, but I don't know. It's been fantastic for me. I've liked it. I could have gotten a better one probably than this. In hindsight, I really wish I'd gotten just a really nice digital 8 camera, but hey, it was 2003. I was young and stupid and ignorant. I had no idea that digital 8 was any better. So there you have it. And this has been a little update on my Panasonic camcorder, and finally finding that DC cord that I've been on the hunt for 2 to 3 years, I'd say. I've been kind of hunting for it off and on. I have not been desperately looking for it, but I finally found it, and I'm very happy about it. So this is what the mic sounds like from the front, and the mic's on the front of this camcorder. So the reason I always liked this camcorder, at least when I was doing my record videos, is that the mic would be pointing towards the audio source. Of course, the way I recorded it back then was pretty bad, but what can you do, huh? So left, right. There you have it. Anyhow, that's enough fooling around with this camcorder. Have a good one, everybody. Ciao.